Good day, dear students. My name is Annette van Heerden. I'm your tutor in your diploma in pre as well as junior primary education. This is for the subject Mother Tongue, Literacy and Development 1 in English. This is a contact session based on the 2018 assignment. Welcome to this very important module. Literacy development is the most important subject for any junior primary as well as pre-primary teacher, as this forms the basis for reading, and reading is the pathway for learning throughout a child's school and tertiary career. The purpose of this module is to develop a theoretical understanding of the mother tongue and second language development. This subject, MT1 has a very heavy study guide consisting of 400 pages. When you receive your learning materials, please start studying immediately. Test yourself by doing the learning activities. Each unit supplies you with some learning activities, and at the end of each unit, a detailed answers to the activities are given. You are strongly advised to do all the learning activities. Firstly, you should complete the activity on your own and then use the answers provided to mark your answer. Ensure that you follow all the guidelines given. Your assignment. First, read your tutorial letter carefully. This is very important. Make sure you know exactly what is asked of you. And then general remarks on how to answer your assignment. You are now on the verge of becoming professionals. As a professional person, you must make sure that the assignment you hand in has the appearance of a professional document. You cannot hand in an assignment written on a piece of paper that was torn out of a scribbler. Make sure that the paper you write on is neatly cut and without any grease marks. Marks will be allocated for neatness. Use your best handwriting and do not draw lines through or use Tipp-Ex on the words that you first misspelled or that you decided not to use. A good idea is to first write and plan your assignment on an odd paper, decide how you want to do it, and then rewrite it on a neat paper in your best handwriting. Please, students, write only on one side of your paper. The IOL staff has to scan your paper, and it's very, very difficult if you write on both sides of the paper. Make sure your questions are in the correct order before you staple it together. I do not want to search for the questions through a bundle of papers. Answer your assignment and also your exam by using facts from your IOL study guide only. All extra resources are for your own enrichment. Marks will be allocated for facts from the study guide only, for nothing else. Read the question more than one time to make sure you understand what I asked. Lots of students provide the wrong facts to a specific question. Then, please start each question by writing question 1 and underline it before starting to answer it. That always helps you not to get confused with the different questions, and is a good way to help you not to misread the question and give the wrong answer. Draw a line underneath each question and start the next question as was described in number 6. Wherever possible, list your specific answer by numbering each fact underneath each other. Here is an example. Write question 1, underline it. Number 1, number 2, number 3. And please, this is very important. Draw a line through your question when you finished question number 1, and then do the same with question 2. Understanding a question. Every part of information can be assessed in a number of different ways or questions. This is usually indicated by the thinking processes of the specific verb that is used in the question. These thinking processes can be found in the front part of each study guide, where the verbs and what they expect of you is clearly tabled. Please make sure that you know what to do with each verb. Your assignment is set in 3 levels of difficulty: level 1, level 2, and level 3. These levels are usually indicated by the specific verb that leads the question. So again, make sure you know what is expected of you with every verb. The verbs in the assignment will be indicated in bold. If you leave out actions that the verb require, you will lose valuable mark. The levels in your exam paper is divided as follows, also in the assignment. Level 1, 50%, level 2, 40%, and level 3, 10%. How to use your verbs in your answer. The verbs that is used most commonly are the following. Remember, there can be some other verbs. The level 1 verbs is list or name, and here you only name the content or list the content from your study guide. Also, define, describe, outline, explain, summarize, identify. You just give a description or an explanation that you studied from your study guide. But with the level 2 verbs, it's different. The level 2 verbs most commonly used is discuss, analyze, comment, examine, design, create, investigate, or demonstrate. With these verbs, you must still use the facts from your study guide, but you cannot only give the facts as it is. Some other actions is needed. For example, with discuss, you give a clear description of the facts, and then you argue or discuss about the features. Examine means identify the detailed features of something. This means you give the facts from your study guide, and then you discuss them according to a given direction, drawing to a conclusion. It means at the end of this question, you must write a few lines saying conclusion. Use the list in your study guide to find out what you will have to do with every verb above. Level 3 is a little bit more complicated. Here you get evaluate, and with evaluate, you determine the value, the worth, or the quality of the stuff, or the success of something, and you evaluate it according to a certain criteria. Compare. Here you indicate similarities or resemblances and the differences of the phenomena or the facts regarding to a particular criteria. You must also draw a conclusion about the similarities and the differences, emphasizing the similarities. With compare, very often a table format is used to compare the phenomena. If you use the table form, put number 1 against number 1 of the facts, number 2 against number 2 in the two sides of the column or the table. If you are asked to compare some facts to your class, please make sure that you indicate which of these facts you have found in your classroom and how you found it. If you do not have a class yet, please find yourself a support teacher with whom you can discuss these questions. The next level 3 verb is discuss critically. When you see the verb discuss critically, you have to provide the positive as well as the negative points. Show them clearly, these are the positive points, these are the negative points, and then you draw a conclusion at the end. With determine, you must use the information given to work out the answer. With distinguish, differentiate, or contrast, you must describe the two phenomena or things according to a relevant criteria, pointing out clearly the differences between the two sets of facts. Students, again, it is very important that you know what to do with all the verbs, for as not knowing will cause you losing valuable marks. How to understand my marking of your assignment. When marking your assignment, I will indicate where in the study guide you can find the correct facts as follows. I will write Unit 1, number 4.3, paragraph 2, third bullet. So if you lost marks in your assignment with a specific question, go to this indication of where to find the answer and find the facts that you didn't put in your answer. This indication means Unit 1, heading number 4.3, the second paragraph, the third black dot. Plagiarism. In your answer, copying text directly from other students or from your study guide or other prescribed material or directly from the internet is not allowed. You can use brief quotations, and only if you indicate it as a quotation. When using your facts from your IOL study guide to answer your questions, you must formulate it in your own words, but make sure you do not leave out some facts while you are formulating it into your own words. Individual work, it's also unacceptable to do someone else's work for them, or to lend your work to them, or to make your work available to them to copy. Please, students, be careful and do not make your work available to anyone. Assignments are individual tasks and not group activities, unless explicitly indicated as a group activity, which will not happen in my assignment. When you use the words of another student, both students will be penalized with a 0 mark and suspension. Students, you cannot think if you are living in Walvis Bay and you use the work of a student living in Keetmanshoop that I will not see it's the same work. I will see that it is the same work. Please do not copy from one another. Your assignment should consist of the following: a cover page, which will be provided by IOL, a table of content. Please make sure that you know what is a table of content. This is what will be in your assignment. For instance, number 1, question 1 on page 3. Number 2, question 3 on page 8, or something like that. Then at the end of each, then you must do the assignment content, the actual answering of your questions. In the conclusion, you must write a short paragraph of what you gained from doing this assignment. Valuable marks will be allocated when you give me all 4 of these. Your assignment, it's very important to make sure that you answer the assignment of the year in which you are going to write your exam. For example, if you are going to write your exam in April or August 2018, then make sure that you do this 2018 assignment. Look for the year number on your assignment. Do not do old assignments. As from now, only the 2018 assignment will be marked. So when I get a 2017 assignment, you will get a 0 mark. I always compile the assignment to be a help for the examination, and at least 20 marks from the assignment will reoccur in your exam paper. Therefore, it is very important that after receiving your marked assignment, you should study it as a preparation for your examination. This assignment, as from 2017, we were instructed to compile only one assignment for both the DPP and the DJP courses. This was not very easy to do, as the content of the 2 study guides differ a lot. I therefore had to make use of choice questions where I could not find enough similar content in both study guides. So when answering a choice question, make sure you choose the part of the question that occurs in your specific study guide and answer only that. The questions in your assignment. Question 1. The answer can be found in Unit 3, number 4.2, Level 1 and 2 of the study guide. This is the grammar question. Use the given sentence to answer. And then, number 1.1, provide each different part of speech with A, a specific function, and B, all examples from the sentence. Then I will give you the sentence. The boy quietly read a bedtime story from his big book. This is the sentence that you must use, and then you should look for the specific function of a verb and look for the examples of the verb. The verbs, the nouns, the adverbs, the pronouns, the prepositions, and the adjectives are asked here. Students should use the verbs the words in the given sentence. At A, you give a definition of the function of the verb or the noun or the adverb. And that you will find in your study guide. At B, give an example of the verb from the sentence given. But please, students, do not rewrite the sentence for me. Make sure you show the specific words by writing only the word, or when you write the question, clearly underline the correct word that you think is a verb or a noun or an adverb. 1.2. Provide each of the following parts of language with a short explanation as well as an example from the sentence. Again, the sentence. The boy quietly read a bedtime story from his big book. Then asked, I will ask you to give me the main sentence. Only give me the main sentence. In this sentence, the main sentence is only the boy quietly read a bedtime story. Then I will ask you to give me the phrase. The phrase is from his big book. The subject, the boy, the bedtime story, the object. Again, make sure that you indicate the specific words that will give the answer. If you only rewrite the whole sentence, you won't get any marks. 1.3. Change the given sentence into the following tenses. The tenses that I asked is the past tense, the future tense, the present continuous tense, and the past continuous tense. You must use the given sentence to change. Please, students, make sure there's a difference between the present tense and the present continuous tense, the past tense and the past continuous tense. Question 2 is a choice question. You answer only one of the following questions. DPP, Unit 1, number 4.4.1. This is where you can find the answer. The question is, Judy Haynes conducted a study on the 5 stages of second language acquisition. Name and describe. You see in bold, name and describe, these 5 stages. Now, name and describe is the level 1 verbs, and you can only use the facts from your study guides. But then, compare each to your classroom. Compare is a level 2 verb, and you should compare each of the following stages to what you found in your classroom. Or, the second part of the choice question, in the DJP study guide number 1.4, you must find the answer. David Crystal's theory on child language acquisition involves 5 stages. Describe these 5 stages according to him. Again, only the description. Compare it to your classroom and reaching a conclusion. Compare is the level 2 verb, and with this compare, I ask you to reach a conclusion. Please remember to compare the facts in each question with your classroom. You will receive additional marks for this. If you are not teaching yet, you must find a support teacher where you can discuss these answers. Question 3. Answers can be found in the PP study guide, Unit 1, number 4.5, or in the Junior Primary Study Guide, number 1.5. Discuss. It's not describe. You cannot only use the facts from your studies guide. Discuss the national language policy with regard to mother tongue up to grade 4. When asked to discuss, it's a level 2 verb. You should add a short discussion to the facts from your study guides. Please do not leave out some of the facts when you start to discuss. Additional marks will be allocated for the discussion. Question number 4. In the pre-primary study guide, Unit 2, number 4.6.2, paragraph 1, 2, and 3. Or in the junior primary study guide, number 3.3. Describe what is meant by informal and formative assessment. Describe needs only a description from your study guide. But then, discuss is a level 2-1, why only informal and formative assessment are suitable to assess young children. You can also find an answer to this in your study guide, but then give a short discussion on it for total marks. 4.2. Evaluate the benefits of the thematic integrated approach in the pre-primary education by comparing it to your pre-primary class or junior primary class. Evaluate is a level 3 verb. You need to go to a classroom and ask about the thematic integrated approach, because this approach is the one that is prescribed by the Ministry of Education for teaching in Namibia. Evaluate is a level 3 verb. Please look at the list of your verbs in your study guide to find the specific process that the verb asks of you. Then again compare it to your classroom or the classroom that you visited. This is a practical question, and students should investigate the thematic integrated approach as prescribed by the ministry. To the student, if you have a question you would like to ask me, it is best to email it to me at vanheerdenfam@gmail.com, and I can give you a well-constructed answer. Feel free to send me an email to ask for help whenever you need it. For the assignments or for your examination, I don't mind. I will answer all the emails. But when you send me an email, always state your course, DJP or DPP, semester 1, and your language, English. I tutor different subjects in different courses and different languages. When you phone me with questions, the answer may not be of the same quality because I sometimes cannot hear good enough, or I am not at a place where I can look into my IOL documents. If you must phone me, please do this between 9 and 12 in the mornings and 5 and 8 p.m. in the afternoon, in weekdays, as I teach afternoon classes up until 4:30 in the afternoons. I will not answer any phone calls on weekends. For mostly on weekends, I'm on the farm and the reception is really not good there. I wish you the best of luck. Good day.